What's going on, guys? This is Mikeinoid, and today we're going to talk about Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney on the Nintendo DS. All Nintendo consoles are known for their amazing first-party titles and IPs like Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Kirby, Pokemon. The list goes on. And the Nintendo DS was no exception to this. However, I do believe that the DS actually had a slightly stronger third-party support. I don't know what it is, but companies really took advantage of the DS's hardware and gave us amazing titles. And in today's case, the third-party title we're going to be talking about is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney from Capcom. Here in the US, Phoenix Wright made his debut on the handheld on October 11th of 2005. However, he was defending his clients all the way back in 2001 on the Game Boy Advance in Japan. So this is basically an English port of the game, but the DS version did gain some major features, which we're going to be talking about. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney has you play as a rookie defense lawyer, which is Phoenix Wright, and you'll defend your clients in court and prove they're not guilty of murder and find the true culprit. You will listen to many different witnesses as they give their testimonies. You'll perform a cross-examination to get more information out of them and ultimately catch contradictions with your court record consisting of evidence. Some of the evidence is given to you to help prepare for the trial, but some evidence will need to be acquired from investigating the crime scenes and other relevant locations. There are so many great characters in this game. Phoenix Wright is a 24-year-old lawyer who just started at Fay & Co. law offices as a defense lawyer. You'll be playing through his perspective, mostly in first person, except in the courtroom where you can see his expressions. Wright's calling is to stand up for people who are accused of crimes that they didn't commit. And later in the game, it's revealed what drove him to become a defense attorney in the first place. Mia Fey is your boss and is pretty experienced with the law. Phoenix looks up to Mia and looks for her thoughts and guidance throughout the game. She'll come help Wright just when he feels all hope is lost, so she's a strong supportive role model for him. Maya Fey is the younger sister of Mia who becomes Wright's assistant as the game progresses. Maya is a psychic in training, which allows her to communicate with the dead, a skill that becomes handy in a couple of cases. Usually I'm scared when a game introduces a younger main character because they usually just end up being annoying, but I'm happy to say I didn't find Maya annoying at all. Miles Edgeworth is the prosecutor and Wright's biggest rival. Edgeworth will do whatever it takes to send criminals to jail. As you progress in the game, you reveal his past and his relationship with Wright. I'll be honest, I was ready to hate this character since the cover of the box art makes him look like the main antagonist, but by the end of my playthrough, he's probably my favorite character of the entire game. The judge is a very minor character, only appearing during the courtroom sessions. Obviously, you need a judge in a courtroom, and he does fine. He even got some good laughs out of me. Larry Butts, also referred to as Harry Butts or simply the Butts, is your first client who happens to be Phoenix's childhood friend. Butts appears in 2 cases, and I thought he was okay. He's definitely a cheeky character. Dick Gumshoe, yes, that's his actual name, is a detective that investigates the crime scenes of the cases you're working on. Sometimes he can be a great help. Other times, he's not, for you or the prosecutor. And there are so many other characters you meet throughout the game which are crucial to their respective case. Pretty much all the characters had really good dialogue and entertaining personalities, except Penny. Penny was pretty boring. The story is separated into 5 chapters, specifically 5 cases. Chapter 1, the first Turnabout. Chapter 2, Turnabout Sisters. Chapter 3, Turnabout Samurai. And Chapter 4, Turnabout Goodbyes, are all from the original GBA version. I really don't want to spoil major key parts of this game since this is a very story-heavy based game, but I will say that some story aspects of previous cases will show up again in later cases, which will become crucial to proving your client innocent. The game does a great job telling an overarching story throughout the main characters and past events while keeping it relevant to the current chapter. There's 2 parts to the game flow of Ace Attorney: the detective work and courtroom sessions. During the detective work, you'll be searching for evidence in a variety of locations that are relevant to the case you're working on. Using the bottom screen, you'll select the options to examine a room, move to a different location, and talk to people or present an item to them to help you investigate investigate further. Examining the room just has you tapping on objects and hoping something will happen. Sometimes you'll have to toggle the screen to see the rest of the area to find what you're looking for. You can talk to your client, Detective Gumshoe, witnesses, or others who happen to be involved with the trial to get the information you need to win the case. You'll need to find all the clues and pieces of evidence before you can move on to the trial. So if you don't know what to do, you just need to try everything to activate the next story sequence. All pieces of evidence will go to the court records. You can check the court records at any time and it will give you more information about each item or description of persons related to the case. After you finish with the detective work, you'll go to trial. Pretty much every witness in this damn game is a pathological liar because none of them are telling the truth about what they saw. So you'll need to scroll through their testimony to look for any statements that contradict the evidence. When you find a lie, press present, look for the evidence, and yell objection! Seriously, you can actually say objection by pressing Y and screaming into the DS's microphone. It was cool the first time, but I just pressed the option on the touchscreen after that. Mostly you won't be able to find any lies due to their vague testimony, so you'll need to hold it and press the witness further. That will reveal more information and then you can object. You see, this might sound easy, but as you get more evidence and the witnesses become better liars, it's most likely for you to present the wrong piece of evidence. This will cause you to lose an exclamation point, and when you lose all of them, it's game over. You can save the game at any time, but it will force you to suspend where you're currently at. You'll only be able to save and continue at the end of detective work and trials. After chapter 4, you'll get the credits. However, there's still chapter 5. Chapter 5, Rise from the Ashes, is a special chapter. It wasn't part of the original GBA version. It was created specifically for the DS version, which is made clearly with additional gameplay aspects and the fact that this chapter has its own credits. This case occurs 2 months after chapter 4. Your client, Lana Skye, is accused of murdering a detective in the parking garage of the prosecutor's office. What's crazy about this case is that Lana is claiming she did indeed kill this man. And what's even crazier is that the detective she killed just so happens to have been killed at the police station at the same time. It's a complete mind I swear my dumbass thought there were ghosts involved in this or something. Wright and Emma Skye, Lana's little sister, must prove that Lana is innocent by using some new detective skills. You can dust for fingerprints, look for traces of blood, and turn over pieces of evidence to look for any hidden clues, which all use the DS's touchscreen. These were cool additions to the game and give the detective work more depth, but god damn, the sequence of turning the vase a certain way was brutal. This one chapter could honestly be its own game. It took me almost the entire day just to finish it from start to finish. I mean, that's not really a bad thing since the case and the characters were so interesting. I just didn't want to stop. But with the overwhelming amount of evidence and clues you need to look for, I just had to take a few breaks. This case had the same jokey feel as the other cases, but it also had a more serious tone, if that makes sense. This is by default the best chapter of the game in my opinion, which doesn't seem too fair since it wasn't part of the original game, but it was just too damn good. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney was a game series that's praised by so many people, and I can definitely see why. This game basically follows the recipe on how to make a fantastic game. You got memorable characters, an intriguing story, great gameplay, and a goddamn killer soundtrack. This game is over 20 years old, and not only does it still hold up, but I would hate to spoil anything about the story. Even if you think you don't care about it, I'm not going to be that guy who spoils it for you if one day you are interested in playing this game. You can find Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney on eBay for the Nintendo DS for a reasonable price. However, the game slaps so much, it's been ported to just about everywhere. You can play this game in the Trilogy collection, which also contains Ace Attorney 2 and 3. I have it on the Switch, but you can also get it on other consoles, on the PC, even on your phone. I think the Trilogy version looks fine, but I think there's something charming about how the game looks on a DS screen. This game is an absolute masterpiece, but I guess you can try to object to that. Well, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and of course, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Oh, I forgot I can get the Trilogy on the 3DS too. Okay, let me just add the funds and I can just buy. Oh yeah, Nintendo hates money.